Today I'm standing outside 464 Agate Street in the Woods Cove community of Laguna Beach. Now this property is special. It is 2 beach cottages on one oversized 6,100 square foot lot, listed by yours truly with Compass for just under $3 million. Now, if you want to learn more about the Woods Cove community or you want to know my favorite places to go in Laguna Beach, stick around later in this video. I'll talk about that. But for now, let's go inside and take a look. All right guys, so like I said, this one's pretty special because I've been touring homes on my channel for over a year now, and it's usually another agent's listing. So to be able to showcase one of my own listings is truly an absolute honor. And I couldn't be happier to bring you guys into my newest listing in Laguna Beach. Again, such a unique property, 2 homes on one oversized lot. So we're standing right now in the front unit, okay? So to give you kind of the basic details, the front unit is about 800 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Now I'm in the living space and it is enormous. You will notice crazy high ceilings, huge windows all the way throughout. In fact, there are no lights on right now, and there is an abundance of sunlight. So a couple things I want to point out is these are original hardwood floors that have been recently restored. They look meticulous. The inside of the home has been painted. We had the fireplace redone in terms of the facade to clean it up a little bit. And then we had the home staged by our stager to showcase kind of mid-century coastal chic. And she killed it, and I love it. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about the design here. This area, we figured we would make it the primary eating area. As a 1 bed, 1 bath, you're probably not hosting a ton of dinner parties here, so you don't need a lot of space to host guests. But this area has kind of a notch that's been pushed out, so perfect space for an eating area. There's a second eating area in here as well, believe it or not, that I can't wait to show you. But overall, for a 1 bed, 1 bath around 800 square feet, I feel so free in here. It's huge. Now, again, we're priced at $3 million. This home has a lot of original features that have been restored. It would need to be upgraded by somebody else unless the person that buys it loves the beach cottage vibe. So I'm gonna take you to the 1 bedroom. Come with me. All right, we got a nice little micro hallway here, and then you've got the bedroom. How big is this? I would say 10 by 13. It's a great size bedroom. We've got a nice queen size bed in here, a couple nightstands to create that ambiance, beautiful sunlight flowing through. It's actually really cool. You can look through the window and see the back home here. Later in this video, I'm gonna talk about who the perfect buyer is for this property. I think there's 3 or 4 different buyer avatars for a unique property like this. But when I walk through this property, it is so Laguna Beach. Everything about it reminds me of Laguna Beach. Now, outside of the beautiful windows allowing all the sunlight to come in and the space just being perfectly staged and manicured, you have a nice little closet right here. Good enough size for your essentials. And then this property actually has radiant heating. These still work. Now, if you were to buy this property and you wanted forced air, that could be arranged. It would be an upgrade. And also this home doesn't come with AC, even though certain times of the year it does get hotter. Most of the year, opening up the windows creates a beautiful ocean cross breeze, and most people are loving life. Let's go check out the bathroom and the kitchen before we go see the back house. So again, 1 bed, 1 bath. This is a pretty large bathroom. So you got all your essentials, really big vanity sink, nice tub. I love the glass enclosure that they've put here. This is an upgrade. Again, most of the home is older and original, and it's been maintained over time, but there are some micro updates. And then you've got a huge closet here. I would imagine it's kind of a wet closet, so maybe cleaning supplies and things like that you want to hide away. There's not a ton of storage in a 1 bed, 1 bath with 800 square feet, but there is enough storage to handle the things that you will need. So now I'm walking into the kitchen, and this is one of my favorite rooms of the home. The breeze here is so abundant. I love these original restored windows that are easy to open and close, allowing for that breeze and that sunlight to come in. This is the second eating area. So when my designer was talking about ways to maximize the space, she thought there was this open space here that could be turned into a bistro eating area. So nice, cute, small table and chairs. if you want to eat on the go. You know, I was sitting here, I did an open house the other weekend, and I was sitting here feeling the breeze, looking out the window, and just staying productive while I was waiting for people to come in and take a look at the property. So I really was able to use this space and really embrace it and feel it for what it's worth. A couple of other things you're gonna notice, come back here a little bit. I just love all this trim. This is just so early 1900s. This is kind of like a spice rack or a very kind of shallow storage space. But you'll notice this trim all over here. And believe it or not, all these cabinets are original. Now, the flooring has been redone over time. The counter has been redone over time. But a lot of the features here are original. So this is the kitchen. Now, one more thing I want to talk about before we leave this property. Both units have inside laundry. So right here, you've got this insanely convenient stackable washer and dryer. So everything that you need to maximize your living space here in this one bed, one bath is in the property. So that's unit number one. 464 Agate, unit number A. That's the first beach cottage. Now what I want to do before we go to the second, the back house, I want to show you a little bit of the grounds. So come with me as I show you the front yard. So as I walk down the stairs of the front unit, I want to show you this gate gives you side access. So if you want to go to the back unit, you can walk down the driveway, which I'll show you guys, or you can open this gate and walk down to the back unit here. But I want to talk a little bit about the front yard. And the reason why it's significant is because in the beginning of the video, I talked about this lot being an oversized lot at 6,100 feet. Now, as the drone goes up, you will see that most lots in this neighborhood are 3,000 square feet. This one is 6,100. It's more than double the average lot in this space, which means you can do a lot more. Now, there are 2 units on this property, but there are 3 outdoor spaces, one in the front, one in the middle, and one in the back. So I just want to showcase the beautiful outdoor space that you could enjoy if you owned this property. Beautiful front curb appeal, cute chairs to sit there and enjoy the ocean breeze. As I stand, unfortunately, there are no views from the home. Now, if somebody were to add a second level, they would probably have ocean views. But where I'm standing right now, just 15 feet away from the front door, I can see the beautiful blue Laguna Beach ocean, which, by the way, some of the views in Laguna Beach are uncomparable in other cities. Like the Laguna Beach ocean views are just on another level. But I just want to showcase how beautiful and abundant and how green and lush this space is before we go to the back house. So come with me now, let's go down the side and I'll show you the second outdoor space. And then what I'd like to do is talk to you a little bit about the Woods Cove area and the beaches in Laguna Beach to give you a sense of why people love this space so much before we go into the second house. So come with me. Okay. Now, before we get into the second unit, I really want to talk about Woods Cove because it has a very rich history. Woods Cove has different types of properties from historic cottages like the one we're in today, all the way to newer estates that were built in 2025. It's got rich artistic history. In the early 1900s, it attracted artists from all over the area, including LA, writers, celebrities, actors, anyone that was looking for a break from their hustle and bustle lifestyle. And then finally, one of the most attractive features of this area is its walkability. You're 2 to 3 blocks away from almost anything that you need. So Laguna Beach has 7 miles of coastline. There are over 30 coves and beaches, so I can't spend that much time talking about all of them, but I do want to go into more detail about Woods Cove Beach. So the reason why the locals love it is because it's secluded and it's scenic. Main Beach is beautiful, but it's a tourist trap. Woods Cove Beach is a local gem. It's got tide pools, it's great for snorkeling, it even has a romantic reputation. So if you're gonna move to this home and you go down there with your significant other, it's a great place to enjoy the sunset and have a nice picnic. Now, if you wanna know about all my favorite places that I go to when I'm in Laguna Beach, stick around till the end, I'll share those with you, but let's take a look at the back house now. Now, to get to the back house, I'm walking through the second outdoor space. And this is my favorite space because I can actually see myself maybe hosting a barbecue, having my friends sitting there on the chair, walking around, mingling. You've got these beautiful plumerias, all these mature plants and succulents. it just creates this feeling of calmness, this feeling of zen. So many people have come visit this property and said it transports them to Hawaii. So I'd like to know in the comments, does this space remind you of Hawaii? Let me know. Okay, now there's a bunch more stuff I have to show you today, but we're at the second home, the back house. So come with me, let me show you guys the inside of this one. Welcome to Unit B, the back home. So this space right here, to me, reminds me of like a sunroom. There's a lot of windows. They're covered up right now just to keep the room a little bit cooler. But this reminds me of a sunroom. It looks to me like this part of the home was the outside of the original structure. So it tells me that this was maybe an add-on before. The way we've staged it is we've turned this into an eating area because again, like the front room, we wanted to maximize the living space by making it only a living space. Now, before I go in, I just want to show you guys this really sweet Dutch door. Okay, it opens up. You get the breeze coming in from here, the breeze going out or coming in from there, and the cross breeze in here is magical most times of the year. But it's a really good space. It's got really high ceilings and a perfect space to eat or entertain. Now, let's take a look at the main living room. Now, although there are so many similarities between this back home and the front home, this back house living space is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more narrow, but still plenty of space to entertain, to relax, to enjoy. You still have the high ceilings. You still have the really big windows. You still have lots of natural sunlight in here. But I will tell you, the number one biggest complaint I've heard from people that have come to my open house is that this unit does not have a fireplace. So people love the fireplace, even in Laguna, even in Southern California on those cold, chilly nights. The one cool thing about this unit that the other unit in the front didn't have is it has a skylight here that you can actually open and close. So obviously if it's raining or if you want to keep the, the utility bill lower, you'd close it, but on a beautiful sunny day, that opens up. It just gives another escape for the air to go out. But this is the main living space. Now, one more thing about this back unit that the front unit doesn't have is I feel as though it's a little bit more of an open floor plan in terms of connectivity. So in the front unit, you'd have to kind of walk through the hallway to get to the kitchen. The kitchen is open to the living space. And in my opinion, the kitchen feels a little bit more open here versus a little bit more narrow in the front. If I had to guess, I'd say the front unit's about 800 square feet and this back unit's about 850 square feet. But per tax records, both units combined 1,633 square feet. So you've got this nice open kitchen space, newer flooring, updated kitchen counters. I want to say updated cabinets as well and newer appliances. Plenty of cool storage. Fun fact, the previous owner was a woodworker, so I'm going to show you a lot of cool things that were done in this property that the average property doesn't have because of the woodworking skills of the previous owner. So down here is the utility space or the wet space. So you've got washer dryer right here, just like in the front, and then you've got a nice cute powder room here. So again, this unit is 2-bed, 1.5 bath versus the front unit being 1 bed, 1 bath. Now let's go check out the rest of the house. 2 more bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Now, before we go to this bathroom, the one cool thing about it, it is a smaller space, so you've got access to the bathroom this way and also off the master. But before we go there, I just want to showcase again, these homes aren't huge, so there's not an insane amount of storage, but there's just so much storage here. And I really love this storage here with the glass, so you can put things here that you can see through. I like this space right here that opens up. Maybe I feel like I can put bread in there or something. It's just a nice space. This extra counter is kind of like a utility counter in my opinion. And that leads us into the primary, the master bathroom and the bathroom that your guests could potentially use. The cool thing about this, let me show you actually. So this is one of those things where the previous owner, they built in these cabinets that roll out and then you could put things in the back so you don't have to reach. In both, right here you have that same thing and they both pull out. Really high quality wood, really high quality craftsmanship. When you're dealing with limited storage, you have to get creative, and that's what they did here. And you have the same thing here. And you got a bunch of storage down here. Now again, this is a very charming bathroom because it is an original 1930s cottage, but you got high ceilings, you got a skylight, you had a skylight in the kitchen, you had a skylight in the living room, you have a skylight in the bathroom, you have a window here with privacy glass to let even more light in, and then you've got this beautiful stand-up shower that I would say is definitely a very reasonable size considering the unit's smaller, but just so much natural light, and that leads us right into the master bedroom. So come on in here, you'll notice the same flooring, you've got that restored original 2-inch plank hardwood, plenty of windows here, plenty of natural light. You've got a kind of a sloped ceiling that I would say is, at the peak is around 11 feet. That comes down to maybe around 6.5 feet, but you don't feel tight. They've done their best to kind of maximize the space in here. You've got this beautiful, this notch where you could put some beautiful furniture here or whatever you need, maybe a dresser drawer. You've got nice closet space here, and then you've got one more closet space here that I want to show you. Again, this is another example of the previous owner's wood and craftsmanship skills. So you've got a built-in dresser drawer, huge deep drawers, open space here for clothes that you want to hang. Maybe it's a his and hers or a hers and his, however you want to break it up. But again, I think that they've done a really great job of incorporating an abundant amount of storage for a unit this size. And that takes us out into the living space. The one thing I will say, for anybody that's like, I have to have air conditioning, I'm a big fan of the split system. I like the way it compartmentalizes the air conditioning. So a nice split system in here would just make this space feel so much better. I love how the stager put a desk here. A lot of people are working from home these days, and with such large living space, it's nice to kind of break up this space and that space to create a more of a lifestyle where you can be productive from home. And then this is the back room. Now, a lot of the feedback I've gotten is this room is really, really small. I would say it's probably 6-7 feet wide and maybe 12 feet deep. So it is definitely smaller than the average room. This is a single bed. So that's what you do when we're staging properties. A lot of times people say, well, I don't want to spend X amount of money or invest X amount of money into staging. I don't want to rent furniture. But what people don't understand is staging is so much more than just furniture. It's the right size furniture. It's the right color furniture to create more purpose for each room. And so the designer did a wonderful job making this smaller room feel very spacious for the right person. So I love that about design. And then you've got a beautiful closet here. And you know, I'm not sure who did the artwork here, but it does feel very coastal. It feels very Laguna. You have the coves here and the sand. But I gotta say that it ties this property in with the area because again, we talked about Woods Cove. We talked about how it attracts artists, and seeing some local art on the doors of the closet, it really just kind of brings it all together in my opinion. So we have a few more things to talk about. I want to show you guys the third outdoor space. I also want to tell you about my favorite places to go in Laguna Beach, and then we have to talk about who's the perfect buyer for this property. So why don't you guys meet me outside so I can show you the last outdoor space, and then we'll go talk about my favorite stuff. Okay, so that's the back house. There's still a few more things I want to show you guys. We haven't been on this side of the property yet, so I just wanted to show you this super extended driveway. Parking in Laguna can be challenging. Parking in this neighborhood has actually been quite convenient, but having this long of a driveway and your own dedicated spots to park is a game changer. And that actually leads me to the outdoor carport. Now, whether or not you park cars in this carport, or maybe you use it for your toys, it's a great extra space. So come on in here and check it out. So, you know, one thing we haven't talked about yet is that Laguna Beach is also a very golf cart friendly area. So I could see parking golf carts here. I could see parking a smaller car here. I could see storing surfboards or stand-up paddle boards here, your toys, bikes, all that kind of stuff. Or maybe somebody wants to tear this down and build a garage. Whatever they want, they can do it. They have to work with the city. And what's cool about this door is it takes you out to the third outdoor space of this property. So come with me so I can show you around. Now, the cool thing is the front unit has the front yard. The middle space could be used for both. This back space is dedicated for the back house. I love the hardscape, I love the brick, I love the table here. I could see myself barbecuing with friends in this private space back here. Again, when you're dealing with a 6,100 square foot lot, you wanna maximize every square inch, right? So you wanna maximize the interior of the spaces, front unit, back unit, but you also wanna make sure that you're using as much of the land as possible so that you're getting your money's worth. I love this space here. There's tons of storage in the walking and the crawl space of this back unit. One of my favorite features of this back unit actually is this puppy right here. Check this out. So you live by the beach, you go into the water, you're full of sand, you don't want to go inside, right? So you got this outdoor shower here that makes it super convenient to wash off so you don't take the beach inside. I'm sure whoever cleans your house would be very grateful for you. And then along this side, what's really, really cool is the storage. So let me open this for you to show you. Again, we talked about limited storage for homes of this size. Check that out. So this opens up, that opens up. It's about 12 to 15 feet of space. Here is where you could store surfboards, stand-up paddle boards, or anything else that you think wouldn't be affected by being outside, but being kind of protected. So I really like that about it. Again, I think most people absolutely love storage. The cool thing about these units is that, storage is abundant. Whether it's on the inside or it's on the outside of the property, you have plenty of space to store your belongings. So if you've made it to the end, thank you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. The more love you show me, the more love YouTube will show me. And the more love they show me, the better properties we can do, the more fun we can have. And ultimately, my goal is very simple. I want to entertain you, I want to educate you, and I want to show you what the coastal California lifestyle is all about. So now that you've seen front unit, back unit, and all the outdoor spaces, I want to talk to you about my favorite things to do in Laguna Beach. Now, when it comes to exercise, there's a couple places I absolutely love. I love 1,000 Steps. My wife and I go there at least 2 or 3 times a month, especially during the summer, and we walk up and down the staircase for a killer workout. Then we go out on the beach, we soak in some vitamin D, we jump in the water, we soak in that. It's just amazing. My second favorite place to exercise in Laguna Beach is top of the world. If you like to hike, if you like to trail run, there are hundreds of miles connecting Aliso Viejo to Laguna Beach to all these different adjacent cities. Beautiful scenery, unbelievable, just a great way to meet people and just stay fit and stay happy because movement is the medicine these days. Now, when we're talking about restaurants, there's a few places I absolutely love. Hotel Laguna is one of my favorite spots. Great views, great food, great service. My favorite restaurant right now in Laguna Beach is The Drake. It's got this vibe. They got live music. They got this amazing, romantic ambiance. Their food is to die for. They have great cocktails. Their service is amazing. One of my favorite spots. And then I can't not mention Mozambique. It's right down the street here on Agate and PCH. They got live music and they got great rooftop vibes. When it comes to coffee, my favorite spot's Laguna Coffee Co. I have spotlighted this place multiple times. I go there every time I'm in Laguna Beach. Their service is the best. The quality of coffee is the best. They also have a cool little section where they sell other things that you can't find anywhere else. So when it comes to Laguna Beach, there's so much to do. These are just a few of my favorite things. And I can't forget, for you golfers out there, Pelican Hill is right down the street in Newport Beach. But I gotta say, I gotta show some love to the Monarch Beach Golf Course in Dana Point at the Waldorf Astoria. That is probably one of my favorite golf courses to play at. If you've never played it at the Monarch Beach Golf Club in Dana Point, that's a great place to go. So now that you know everything about the home and a lot about the area and where I love to go, why don't we sit down and talk about who's the perfect buyer for this place? So who's the perfect buyer for this place? Well, this one's unique because it's got 2 homes on 1 lot. So I've got a lot of different opinions. I would love for you to comment below if you have an idea of who the perfect buyer is for this place. The first perfect buyer is somebody who is an end user that wants an oversized lot and they want to build their dream home and they want to have ocean views in Woods Cove, right? So they would buy this property, tear down the two cottages and build their beautiful new coastal modern masterpiece and have an amazing lot to be able to enjoy indoor and outdoor living. But if somebody were to buy this property and keep it the way it is, I have a couple thoughts. First is maybe a couple families that want to come together, they want to pool their money together and they want to buy a vacation getaway. So family A can sleep in the front unit, family B can sleep in the back unit, and they use this property whenever they want. Maybe they live in Arizona, maybe they live in the East Coast, maybe they live internationally. They just want a slice of Laguna Beach that they can come to whenever they want. That's one. The second buyer I think that would be great is multi-generational living. So maybe some parents or grandparents want to buy this property and they want their kids to live in the other unit. That makes living and life super convenient for them. Another type of buyer I think that would be perfect for this is somebody I'm talking to right now actually, a young couple, they just had their first baby. They want to buy their first home in Laguna Beach, but because prices are higher and rates are a little bit higher, affordability isn't super great, people are looking for ways to offset their mortgage. So they could buy this property, they could live in the back because now they have a smaller room for their baby and they have the bigger room for themselves, and then they can rent the front unit out and offset their monthly payment. To talk about that a little bit, I did my research. The front unit would probably rent out for about $4,000 a month and the back unit would probably rent out for $5,000, maybe $5,500 because it's a 2-bedroom. But the bottom line is here, there are options. This property is zoned as an R1, which means if somebody were to tear the structures down, they'd have to build a single family home. But as it sits right now, it's grandfathered in as a legal, non-conforming 2 single family homes on 1 lot. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your comments. I just want you to know I respond to all of them and I appreciate you guys more than ever. This was a special tour. This is the first time I'm showcasing one of my listings on my channel. So show me some love, share it, like it, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next tour.